What is up? How you doing? Yeah, Stacey here. Obviously, I'm not doing the little intro. I don't know if I should. I guess it doesn't really matter. The point is just to make this video and to share my thoughts and advice and my answers to the questions that you guys ask me. So today, of course, I'm here with another answer to another video, advice video. And well, here is my advice to this question, which I'm about to read to you off of this paper. It's ripped. What do you do when you're feeling down and still want to put out content? That is from my dear friend Beth. You can fast forward to where I start talking about this if you want, but I just wanted to say this. I answered this in a podcast, which I'm working on right now. I'm getting back into it. For those of you who've been following for a while, they know that a long time ago, I started on them and it was going well, actually, and a lot of people really liked it, and so I don't know what happened when I stopped. I guess life just happened and I hit a low point, and so I stopped. But I want to get back into it, and I already have the first one that actually answers this question and another one in that podcast. So I have that first one done. I don't know when I'm gonna post it up. I might already have posted up. I don't know. You'll have to see. If the link is down below, that means I posted it up already. Please do check it out. I know that you might be like, well, you answered the same question, so what's the point of it? But sometimes I might answer it in more depth or say things that I didn't say here, or had thoughts that I said in something else. For example, in that podcast, I may have said other points or given other points that I maybe didn't touch on here, or I might have them here but didn't touch on the podcast. So you gotta check it out. And plus I answer other things on there, and I talk about other things on there. And actually it's kind of funny. I'll get into the video right now. That day when I filmed the first podcast, I had been putting it off for like the weekend, for a while, plus the weekend. And I was actually gonna crack down and do it. I filmed it and I got a call, which from now on I learned that I'm gonna put my phone on airplane mode whenever I'm doing that, because then it's gonna fuck everything up. It ended up stopping my recording. I thought, oh, it's okay, I can just keep recording and it would add on to that, or I can just save what I recorded, which was like 40 minutes, probably more than that, and then add an ending to it after that, because that's what you can do in the app that I was using. Well, no, it turns out I deleted everything and just recorded the end. So I was so sad because that podcast was so good for being the first one coming back, and I said a lot of things that even I was surprised, like, well, that was actually really good. Then it all went to crap because it deleted, so I had to re-record it again in that moment. And anyways, you'll hear about the whole process that I went through at that moment, but it was quite sucky. But anyways, that's okay because things happen, right? So here I am again answering this, because some of you might not hear the podcast, and some of you might not even know about the podcast, although I told you about it right now. So if you have a chance, please do go check it out. And some of you that hear the podcast won't see this video, or some of you just don't like podcasts. If I can answer it again somewhere else, I will. So let's answer this. For me, I've been through a lot of ups and downs, especially with being a content creator myself. I've been doing this for a while, a very long time, years in fact. I go as far back as posting videos way back when I was in high school. I mentioned that because along my journey on YouTube, I've had a lot of ups, I've had a lot of downs. Things have been really freaking great, things have been really fucking shitty, and it has been roller coaster, to be quite frank. But I've learned a lot. It served an amazing purpose to teach me a lot as a life lesson, as a learning lesson, it's pretty much like everything that I have learned about myself and the process, and even YouTube and being a content creator and creating things and giving advice to people and just people in general. I've grown so much from that. Everything that I've learned, I've been able to apply to so many things in my life, and I think that is absolutely amazing, and it makes me happy because as you get older, you start to see like life through different eyes, obviously, because you've lived more, you've experienced more, you've been on earth for far more days, and you've gone through so many things in life, more things in life. You've gone through struggles and you've grown, and you do begin to see with a different set of eyes. That is something that has happened along this journey, and I'm so thankful for it, because I really honestly have grown as a person, and I'm very content and happy where I am as a person and how much I've grown, and it's just amazing. Anyways, I was saying, so as you grow, like, just things just start to make so much sense, and it's fucking amazing. It's like such an eye-opening experience, and it's just great. It's just awesome. I like it. Anyways, I brought all of that up because does that make sense, of YouTube and the journey that I've been on. I've learned so much about myself when it comes to how I feel and my emotions. If I'm feeling really down, I won't post anything. Most of the time, if you don't see me on YouTube or across my social medias, it's either one, I'm super busy and I really honestly have no time, which is merely an excuse to just not crack down and make time. That's my excuse. Or I've honestly have stuff that's going on with me that I'm like super emotional, or like I'm just not feeling it. And I've been on both ends of the stick where I have posted things just because I'm like, oh shit, I gotta post something, and I do it, but I'm not all in. And then I've been on the other side where it's like, no, I want to stay true to my content, true to what I do, and I want to post it if I'm feeling 100% okay with posting that. If I'm feeling it, I'm gonna post it. If I'm not, I'm not. That's where I am now. It took me a very long time to get there. Now granted, I'm not saying that all my content that I've ever posted was fake. No, it's just the action of what I was doing. It took me a while to understand that it was okay to not post something if I wasn't feeling it. And so I've gotten to a point throughout my journey where I'm like, I'm not gonna force myself to make a video when I'm not feeling it. I have done that in the past where I have forced myself to make a video when I wasn't feeling it, when I wasn't happy. And let's be real, when you're faking it, people can smell that, people can sense it, people can see it. A lot of people won't. Sometimes they're like oblivious to it, but if you're being a fake person and you're not staying true to what you're doing or who you are as a person, eventually people are gonna sense it, people are gonna see it if they don't catch it right on spot the first time. That's something I've realized too, and all this is across the years. That's why I'm telling you, like, I'm so happy that I've had this learning experience because it's taught me so much. The one thing that has really worked for me, that may or may not work for you with content if you are a content creator, not even if you're a content creator, it could just be anything, is sharing the process of the struggle that you're currently feeling, of the emotion you're currently feeling, of the battle that you're currently in or enduring or going through, the obstacle, the challenge, whatever it is. You can always share it. Now let's say that you're not wanting to share this part of you public. If you want to do it privately, you can. You can write in a journal, you can make a song about it, writing it out on a piece of paper, crumpling it up, throwing it away, tossing it, whatever it is. You can funnel all that emotion into creating another piece of content. Again, the content can be for yourself privately, you don't ever have to share it. It could be publicly, write it on Facebook, talk about your emotions. You'd be amazed at how many people can actually relate, because this is something that's so true, something that everybody goes through, a struggle, an obstacle, an emotion, a feeling. Everybody goes through it. So that's something that I've learned along the way, is instead of just not doing anything, not putting content out, which in a moment where I'm feeling like that, I either sit down and record that. I have gotten in the habit of recording a voice memo if I'm feeling that way, which I am going to share a couple of them that I've filmed in the middle of the night when I have a thought and I can't sleep. I have a creative idea for that to make it into a video, so I will be sharing that kind of stuff. But that kind of stuff for me is what works. If I'm feeling like shit or if I'm feeling anxious, I'll just grab my phone and record in a voice memo, or I'll write in my notes, and then later we'll create into a video or a quote or whatever it could be, and I just have it. I have it documented in that moment. Or I'll grab my camera and I'll start talking. Sometimes I don't want to be on camera, and so I'm like, okay, well, I still have my voice that I can say things, so I record it. I mean, there's always a way to let out your feelings, so it's always interesting to see what kind of struggles you were going through when you were getting to whatever point it is, when you were trying to get to your destination, when you're trying to get to point B, from A to B, what happened along the way. That's the kind of stuff that's interesting. Granted, not everybody's going to be interested, but everybody has their own things that they do or don't like, or are interested in or are not interested in. But that is an option. You can always create something or do something. You can always write about what you're feeling in the moment and form that like a behind the scenes, or form that as just something to share with the world, just to open up and say, hey, you know, I'm going through this, and I just wanted to say that if anybody's going through this, I'm here going through this with you. You're not alone. It doesn't even have to be to that degree. It could just be something that you write on Instagram, like post a picture and say, man, so recently I've been going through this struggle, but found the silver lining, or whatever it is. Just share it. Just pour your heart out onto it. Again, it doesn't have to be public. It could be in a freaking blog post. It could be something that you write and you just put up on your wall. It could be anything. You can just go to the mirror and talk about it. Talk to a higher power, you know, and talk to a friend about it. Just do something. Don't let it sit within you. So, breaking that down, if you still want to put out content, but you're feeling super sad or depressed or down, or you don't have the motivation, write about you not having the motivation. Talk about you not having the motivation. Talk about your feelings. Talk about what you're going through. You don't have to share every nitty-gritty detail. You could just sum it up and then put that out. That's your piece of content. Let that be your piece of content that you want to put out. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I think a lot of us don't share the struggles. The truth is, not everything is rainbows and sunshine and butterflies. It's not. And unicorns too, whatever, you know. Just felt like the unicorns would be left out if I didn't mention them. Not everything is amazing 100% of the time. That's not how life life works. That's not the reality. The reality is we're gonna go through shitty moments. The reality is we're gonna go through fucking amazing moments. The reality is we're gonna spend a whole entire year struggling, or more or less, and not everything is gonna be perfect. That's definitely what has worked for me. Other than that, if you don't feel like putting out content, don't put out content. Don't force yourself to be fake. Don't fake something that's not there. Trust me, I've been through that before. There's just no need. Why? Why do you want to be fake? Stay true to yourself. Sometimes we do need that extra push. That little push is different than forcing yourself to. Sometimes you need to push yourself to just do it, and that's different from forcing yourself to put on a fake smile, to put on an act, to pretend like you're happy, or to pretend like everything's freaking amazing. It's a difference. So give yourself a little push. Sometimes that's what we need. Sometimes we just need to crack down on it. That's also something that I've learned and I've experienced and I've gone through and I've gotten better at. And sometimes it's just, that little extra kick to the booty that you need to do to get the wheels rolling, and after you do that, you'd be surprised at how much lighter and better you feel just because you did that one little extra step. You took that one little extra step. So try it. Instead of faking something or putting something out that you're not happy with, put out your true feelings. Talk about that. There's been many times where I've shared a post where I've just let out my feelings and my thoughts. You will see when I create that video how I was feeling that moment. There's been stuff that I wrote in on Facebook in written form, how I've been feeling and my thoughts and my emotions. And so I went that route instead of posting something that I wasn't all there for. And that's what I've learned along the way, that it's okay to share what you're going through. It doesn't always have to be something amazing. It doesn't always have to be about that specific thing you're working on. It could be about anything in your life. Just put it out or write it down in a diary journal. A lot of times when I say things, whatever it is that I'm talking about, it doesn't necessarily have to be for that one thing. Apply it to whatever it is that you're dealing with in your life, to whatever you want in your life. It's a lesson. It's just words that can translate to something else in your life, that can transcribe into whatever you're going through to help you with that. But anyway, I hope that this helps. Beth, I wish you the absolute best, and I really do hope that everything's going well with your project. Just don't overthink things too much. Don't be super sad just because you don't have the motivation to put out content. Trust me, I have been there many times and I still struggle with that, but I've also gotten in the habit of, instead of feeling that whatever it is that I might be feeling, I just pick up my phone and I start writing, or I start writing, or I start speaking, or I make a video. I just do something about it instead of just sitting and dwelling on it. And that's something that I've also learned along the way, and I've also worked on to get there. Because the longer that you waste time just dwelling on it, the longer that you just sit there and think about it, the more time you're wasting when you could be spending that on getting further ahead in your project, or in whatever it is that you want to do or want to be doing, your craft, your career, or even just putting out a piece of content to share with the world. You're missing out on that. But I hope that answered. I'm pretty sure I've said a lot more in the podcast. I'm not, like those courses are like, well, I gave you some points here, but if you want the full course, you gotta buy my course for $199. It's not like that. I honestly just spilled what was on my mind right now, on my brain, and I spilled what I thought of over there on my podcast. So if you would like to hear what I had to say, please go and listen to it. I just hope that everything gets better, and I hope that hearing me speak about my personal experiences with this specific topic and how I've overcome and how I've gone through it really helps you and influences you, at least for the better, and impacts you for the better and encourages you. So thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for asking me this question. And if you know anybody who needs to hear this, please send my words to them. Hopefully it'll encourage them. You never know who might need the encouragement, who might need the help. And as I always say, helping others is always a great thing. It's always something to make your heart feel absolutely happy, and you'd be doing a great thing. Please do pass this on if you know anybody who needs to hear this. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this. If you comment, thank you so much for commenting. If you like it, thank you so much for liking. If you're interested in seeing or hearing more about me, please check out my social medias. Check out my blog channel if you haven't. Yeah, link is down below. And thank you so much. And I appreciate it. And I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next vlog. The next video. See, I'm already talking about my vlog. In the next video. And remember, there's one thing that I want to call to mind. There are actually 3. No matter the highs or lows, always be sure, always be certain to do good. Be grateful. And stay humble. Bye.